For doing a broadcast about how to use PEMF or pulse magnetic therapy on such a nice day as today, and it's a little cloudy out today, but I figured it would be appropriate to just come out here and do some of the most basic PEMF or energy medicine that you can do and that anyone can do for free, which is what nowadays called earthing or grounding. And just because this is a park I like to come to and just kind of walk barefoot and just ground out. So here I am, just kind of grounding out a little bit. And this is a way of using the Earth's natural magnetic field as a means of energy medicine, and really it's not any different in a lot of ways than a lot of the PEMF devices that you'll run into out there. And so it is a free method of doing PEMF, because the Earth naturally in the northern hemisphere is pulsing has a static magnetic field in the north direction, and also combined with that we have this so-called Schumann resonance, which is not as fixed as it used to be at 7.83 hertz, but it still provides this low frequency pulse, which is vital for our natural balance. And all the wireless technologies that are becoming more and more a part of our daily lives are affecting this natural balance in this low frequency range. So just by taking off your shoes and coming out to a park, and especially when there's some wet ground, ideally drier ground isn't going to have as much conductivity with the earth, but so this is a way of, I like to come up here and just either run up here or walk pretty rapidly, get my heart beating, and just lie down on the ground and just kind of absorb that energy, and it really I can always feel my blood pumping strongly through my circulatory system, and it feels great, and it's just so easy, so basic, doesn't require any tools or anything, but sometimes these basic things we just kind of overlook them. And this brings me to another subject, and by the way, when I do these broadcasts, I'm pretty low tech with it, so I'm not really to the point where I can communicate with you by text message or instant message or chat and stuff while I'm actually talking to you here on video. Plus, if I tried to do that, the videos would get boring, because then I'd be trying to chat with people while I should be talking to you. So keep that in mind. But so why are we as a culture leaning more towards wanting to use devices like PEMF devices and pulse magnetic devices rather than just being able to use earthing and grounding and things like that to a sufficient degree? And I've talked about this on other videos too, but touch on it briefly here. The Earth's magnetic field is actually going through a low point, and this happens to be corresponding to a point in time where our wireless technology is just becoming a massive footprint on the biosphere. So we've got all these satellites buzzing around, transmitting all these waves, and at the same time, and wireless communications from towers, and at the same time we've got this low point in the Earth's magnetic field. And what that means is that when we move through the Earth's magnetic field, we get less energy movement. And because the reason that pulse magnetic, what is pulse magnetic technology, or PEMF? It's a means of getting movement of energy in the body, because unlike a static magnet, a static magnet has a field, a north field on one side and a south field on the other side, and it's got that same magnetic field the whole time. You can move it around and cause some movement in those fields, but generally speaking, it's really going to be the same field. And the difference between that and PEMF, or pulse magnetic therapy, pulsed electromagnetic therapy, is that with a pulse magnetic device, you've got a coil of some sort. There's a lot of different types of coils in the different devices, but you've got some sort of coil, and you've got a device that's pulsing that coil, and what that's doing is it's building and collapsing that magnetic field routinely throughout whatever the program or cycle that it goes through. And what that's doing is causing like a push and pull effect. And what it's doing is it's actually moving energy, moving electrical flow through the conductive pathways in the body. And here comes a dog to say hi. So say hi to everyone. Come on. So and so we get that here. It's a nice park setting, and so that's the difference between a standard magnetic field and a pulsating magnetic field. A pulsed magnetic field is it's a moving, a transient field, and that creates more energy movement in your body, in your conductive pathways. And so normally when the Earth's magnetic field was at a high point, of a higher intensity, then just moving through the magnetic field of the Earth would actually give you more moving energy in your body. Literally, the exercise that you do on a daily basis would drive this energy movement. And since we're at a low point in the magnetic field of the Earth, we get less of this effect. And I believe that's why we crave these tools, these pulsed magnetic tools, to help increase that movement of energy in the body. And so that's why I want to give a shout out to James Oshman. This book was an early inspiration for me many years ago when I first read it. Energy Medicine: The Scientific Basis, and it's a real eye opener if this is a new subject to you, or even if it's not. It's a real it's the scientific basis of energy medicine, and really explains why this is not some woo-woo thing. This is real science, and we are electromagnetochemical beings. So we have all different sides of, I should say, we are bioelectromagnetic chemical beings. So there's a lot of different sides of our metabolic function that we should be keeping in mind when we look at health and attaining optimal fitness and mobility, and just overall optimal metabolism. So yeah, I encourage you to check out that book by James Oshman, and he's got some other books as well in that kind of series. That was the first one, and it's a great book. And in talking about PEMF, how to use PEMF is very specific to the device, and I have and will continue to produce other videos about and broadcasts about specific devices, showing you how to use specific devices. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, definitely reference some of the other videos on my channel and subscribe, and keep a watch out for new stuff as I put other specific videos up. But since we're talking about the Earth, this is one of my favorite devices, which is called the Earth Pulse, and it's a real simple device. The concept is that it combines that Schumann resonance effect with a static north-facing field. So it's designed to be really easy to use, specifically while sleeping. So it's designed to help with the neural oscillation in sleep, and to help pull you into deeper, more restful sleep states like the delta sleep. And I've got other videos where I also share more depth into the concept of neural oscillation. So take look for that on my channel as well, and if you haven't seen it yet. And so the Earth Pulse is a really cool, easy to use product that's one of the simpler of the PEMF devices, and it's also more affordable because, unlike some of the other more intricate devices that use a large mat, the Earth Pulse uses a hockey puck size electromagnet, which is just placed underneath the mattress. So it essentially turns your whole bed into a pulsed magnetic mat of sorts. And because of that, it's actually more economical, because we don't have to ship you a whole mat. Instead, just a small electromagnet, and that keeps the cost down to a more affordable level. And then moving into, as I mentioned, there's a number of these pulsed magnetic mats. I brought one up here, not the whole mat, but just this is one of the original, well, not original, but this is the Beamer 3000 Plus, which is one of the devices I've represented over the years. And this is the control box. And then what it does is it connects to, this is the smaller version of it, but it connects to a mat like this. Then there's a larger size mat that connects to it, and there's copper coils inside this, which are pulsed, and that builds and collapses the field. So that's how the mats work, and you can literally just relax on one of these mats for a couple times a day, up to typically at the maximum about 4 times a day. But what I've found with these mats is that, especially with this type of mat, like the Beamer, is a low intensity PEMF mat. With those type of mats, it's a consistency of use. With most PEMF devices, magnetic fields are not something the average human can actually feel. So keep that in mind with any of these devices. Don't expect to feel anything. Now, with some of the high intensity devices, sometimes they can create some subtle changes, some contraction in your muscles that can be felt. So that's something to keep in mind. But with the lower intensity devices and the medium intensity devices, you typically can't feel anything when they're operating. So it's a accumulating effect, a cumulative effect. So when you use it consistently, that's when you're going to see the results that you're looking for. And so that's really important to keep in mind, and to use it consistently. With a lot of these mats, like I mentioned, if you don't use it at least twice a day, and better results even 3 to 4 times a day, it's going to take a lot longer for you to see the type of results that you're probably looking for. And that's why the Earth Pulse is such a nice place to start. Aside from it being an easier investment, but all you have to do is just turn it on when you go to sleep, and it's shielded from all external EMF, so it's really safe, and you don't have to take any time out of your day in order to get the effects from it. So, and over the years, and I've documented some of this with some various videos and audio feedback from some of my clients, the effects are phenomenal with even just that device. So whatever device you choose to use, though, use it consistently, and don't expect any like drastic effects from 1 or 2 uses. If you rent a device, especially use it consistently so you can get those effects while you have it, and feel what is achievable with these devices. And if you're like going into a walk-in kind of location where they have these devices for you to use, and you're just using it like once or twice a week, honestly, like I haven't seen lots of great effects from that kind of consistency of use from these. Now, there's some people that would disagree with that, and I can appreciate every opinion, and I any results people get is great, so I'm all about that. But usually it's the higher intensity PEMF devices that are going to kind of trigger those quick type of effects, and not the low intensity pulse magnetic mats and things like that. So yeah, keep that in mind. And and that's pretty much what I wanted to share today here in the park. And while I'm getting a little earthing and grounding going here, and and so check out the site healthharmonic.com. You can see all the stuff that I've got going on there, and type in comments here and questions if you have any for me. Look forward to addressing any of those, and both in the comments section and as well as in future videos. And thanks for watching. Of course, if you have any inclination to subscribe and share and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of social stuff. But number one, get out and ground yourself, and take advantage of this earth that we have around here. Find a quiet place if you can, and a not so quiet place if you can't, and touch the earth, and get yourself some grounding energy. And I think you'll be glad you did. It can really be helpful for relaxation and just everything, and in addition to any PEMF devices that you might be using. So thanks for watching this video, and or being on here while the broadcast was going, and I will see you next time.